Greetings everyone, hey, a warm welcome to you all. Thanks for joining me guys, because this is the December reading for you all. It's a great time of the year to go back and review what's happened, given it's the end of the year. It's also a really good time to make some decisions about what not to bring forward in terms of things to let go. It's a good time to also plan your intentions for the new year that is just around the corner. So for 2019 coming. It can be a really good time to also look back on the year and see the things that you have done well or that you have achieved or set into place, and reward yourself for that, and remember to congratulate yourself on how far you may have come in certain areas of your life. And if there are other things that you want to uplift or to start or to carry on, this is a good time, as I said, to set the intentions and put the plans in place to make sure those activities happen. So I have had recent finger surgery on a sort of a node that needed to be removed, and it has made shuffling the cards a little bit difficult. So for this month we're going to do a different format. I've learned how to improvise and to connect with the, sort of psychic or intuitive realm at a different level. So the cards have already been pre-selected for you as we run through them. So it's time to also, another good perspective of the dynamics of December is a celebratory time. Now, not all of you will follow the event of Christmas. It won't mean that much to you. But it is a time, even from a non-religious perspective, of appreciating those around you, of connecting in the realm of love, of showing gratitude, peacefulness and happiness. So I do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas as well, and may you have safe and happy, prosperous, love-filled and positive energy-filled December, Christmas and festive season. And I want to thank you all for joining the channel and subbing and liking the videos and being part of the program and the journey forward for 2019. So thank you all for that, and let's get into the readings. So hi Scorpio, this is your private part of the reading. We are doing things a little differently this month. You can see there's a slightly different layout, and if you have checked some of your moon and rising signs, you might very well have already figured the pattern out. We are using these Power of Surrender cards at the moment as the main one, which we've already turned over and I have worked intuitively with to gain some extra messages from it. Then you will get one of these cards from the Morgan Greer Major Arcana only and Aces, and then one of these, the Light Keeper, which we haven't turned over and not sure yet what's coming until we all get to view it. So your surrender card is surrender to divine timing. And I kind of liked that this came up for you, because I'm doing these readings in November, and I'm doing them not long after the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. And of course that is prime Scorpio energy. Now there has been a lot of I guess you could say hype if you like, but there has been so much energy and information put into the 11-11-11 energies for this year. So it's a lot of it talks about ascension energies or divine purpose energies or light coming in, like white light like you see on this card, traversing across what appears to be a moon in the background. And you can take that whole 11-11-11 however you like it, but it is a very synchronistic number, and it is all about timing, obviously. So I feel there's a connection in here for you guys to tap into if you so feel inclined. You can meditate with it, you can listen to videos online about what the energy is or what it could do for you or how it could enhance you, or just expand your knowledge or information or understanding around it as well. But it seemed pertinent that you got the divine timing card about that particular, and I knew that the 111111 was part of the resonant energy for you. So if you guys connect, probably more than anyone, because it fell in your birth zone or your star zone, you might feel like a real powerhouse of energy from the cosmos, from the celestial helpers through this portal or gateway. And now moving into the messages on the card, it says, sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. And I guess that's what 111111 is. It is universal flow. So some of the other meanings that I got for the card were definitely that triple 11. Then it was moon cycles, because the moon is there. So something about the full moons coming up or eclipses for 2019 might symbolize timing events for you guys. So if you are waiting on the outcome of a project or the purchase of, say, a house, or finding a love interest, or looking for a divorce, or getting a better health cycle going, it may tie into solar eclipses or moon cycles very much for you guys. So if you're feeling down and thinking, oh God, it's just not working, or what I wanted isn't happening, try to understand this is a very important message. They're telling you not to give up if the things that you are wanting to come to fruition haven't happened yet. So this is very important to empower yourself with the knowledge that it does come in the end. It comes when it's ready. So don't be frustrated, and don't focus on the things that you don't want to have happen. Focus on what you do. So don't give up on that. Keep it going, and know that it will come in time, that change is cyclical. It all happens eventually. What else did I say? Things to do with the night. Also to allow flow in your life. So don't block flow. Allow creative energy and source in. Delete fear. I've also said to look up, because you may be missing important clues. So the look up meant literally, so bring your head up and look at the skies. There might be something you see in the heavens, in the skies, and it might be to do with the moon or the planets or the sun, but it might be more global than that. It might be more spiritual. It might be more of a big connection. It might also be talking about connecting with your spirit guides or your angelic helpers. Some of you might be about to receive downloads or information. So it can become quite deep when we start talking about celestial and cosmic events and serendipitous and synchronistic and helpers of the celestial world. We get into really difficult pathways to see, because none of that is visual. It's all more on the emotional or the spiritual level. So you have to have a degree of trust, and you have to have a degree of faith. But the more you look up, the more you encompass these thoughts and activities and broaden your scope, the more power you're bringing in and the more manifestation you will get. And it just said you may be missing important clues. So when I said look up, it might mean that you have to look something up. So some of you may not have done enough due diligence on a project or a person or a health situation or some finances. So they're telling you to seek more information. And this could be referring to a whole heap of different perspectives in your life. And again, as I say, these are very broad readings for, so many different people. So for one person, it might be a health perspective. For someone else, it might be purchasing a home. For someone else, it might be a new partner they're looking at. But you need to expand your information that you've got around some projects you are doing and take on board some more things. This might be very prudent for something that you're planning on taking into next year. So again, this could be about intentions, focusing on that, making sure that what you are planning on is right for you and is heading in the right direction with just as much due diligence as possible. So with that, let's turn, oh, you get a lot of blue in here too. I don't think I said blue initially, but I see blue in there, so that could be communication, could be a key facet of any progress forward. It could also have to do with that part of the body, which is the throat chakra area. So some of you might find this needs attention one way or another. Parathyroid and thyroid are in there, so is the throat, the larynx, the teeth, the mouth, all of those type of things may pop up for one reason or another as well. Oh, God, you know, these readings have been so amazing. How much clearer is anything in life? That's what appears to be the moon, and you get the moon. Wow. You know, I love it. These readings have been extremely powerful. And that moon is literally sitting on, well, nearly sitting on the other moon. Double power of the moon. So I talked to you a little bit about the eclipses could be potent for you. Moon cycles could be very potent. The moon card in the tarot talks to us about our psychic abilities and awareness. And Scorpios, you innately are psychic. You're so connected to spirituality and the cosmos and understanding psychic phenomena. So for some of you, you may be activated more in the year coming. You may become more acutely aware of these powers. You may tap into them and utilize them. This is a time where your dreams might become profoundly weird or profoundly intuitive or activated. You might find answers within your dreams, so keep a dream journal. You could find that deals or people you meet might happen on or around a full moon or a new moon or at night, in the dark of night. You might be doing something that you're hiding from the people or the public. You could have some like hidden activity agendas in your life that you are wanting to keep kept quiet. And Scorpios, you often like to have projects that are under the radar, that other people aren't privy to. So this could be important to you as well, one way or another. It does tell you to be careful of business dealings in particular and people you are dealing with. So that message has come up twice because I said it earlier. I said, look up, you may be missing important clues. And to do with issues with the night and the moon. So you definitely need to just be a bit careful about who you are dealing with at the moment or as you go into the new year. If any of you are thinking of forming new business partnerships in particular, I would say be cautious and do due diligence, which is what we said earlier as well. There could be other water sign people involved in this. There could be Cancers or Pisceans involved. And you also may meet these people and they could become partners in business or romance. So the moon talks to us about dealing with our shadow self as well and coming to terms with that hidden side of us that we often put in the closet. You know, we're too afraid to deal with it or we've hidden from it. It's the stuff that, well, it's not necessarily the dark side of us, but I guess it is called the shadow side. But it's often our fears or phobias or worries or anxieties or, you know, our hidden guilty pleasures that we don't want other people to know about, our fantasies or our desires or our pleasures. So there's a whole lot of stuff that the moon addresses with that as well, and it talks to you about incorporating the whole you into being one, to not hiding from your shadow self, to not cutting yourself in half, to rounding yourself off like that beautiful moon and being a full luminous being. It's interesting that the two moons even though they're full as such, this one is so grey and barely visible, and this one is so bright and illuminated. So it does make me think of possible eclipses or something that's going on, as well as new moon things. So timing, celestial timing, is a big thing for you guys for 2019. So let's see what the Keepers of the Light card is. That is Keranos, life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. You know, I do love it. I just talked to you about that with the moon. I said sometimes this is about, you know, accepting our hidden side, the shadow side, which is often about our pleasures, our sexuality, our sensuality, our desires, the things that we keep back a little bit. And then you get this Keranos card. You know, the readings have been really, really amazing, and I'm just loving the way they're tying together with such force. So there's something behind these readings that truly tells you that these are inspired by and divined by the cosmos, celestial helpers, angelic beings, spirit guides, who knows, but they're very, very powerful. So a very interesting looking creature Keranos is, and indeed life force is what we are here on this planet for. And even above his head, I think I can interpret this as another moon, and it's a crescent moon. So now you have 3 moons with which to focus on. Meditate with the moon, spend time with the moon, you know, talk to the moon. The moon is our feminine side. Remember that. It's our emotions, our sensuality. So there's a big thing in here for you guys about your physicality for the year. So I will read the words from the book because I think they will be valuable as well. And in the meantime, I want to just kind of focus on Keranos so he gets his amount of due time in the reading. Keranos, also known as Hune, is a Celtic stag god who represents connection to the earth. He is one of the oldest recognised Celtic gods and features on the Gundestrup cauldron, a giant silver vessel from the Iron Age. He is the lover of the Great Mother and impregnates the land so that it will be filled with life. He can help us form a connection with the animal spirits and ancestors of our land. There is a deep build-up of life force within you now and a need to channel it into action. You may have extra energy or be more alert than usual, or be more aware of a sense of increased sensual or sexual energy. If you have been unsure how this ties into your spiritual path, know that it can allow you to access the richness of your soul. When we are not expressing ourselves sexually, our spiritual potential can become tamed or muted. So if you are denying yourself a desire, ask yourself how you can fulfill it. Ask Keranos to help you access your sexual self so you can express it with integrity and in a way that honours your soul. If you and your partner are trying for a child and this card appears, fertility is very possible. So there is a lot of talk here about the physicality of life and possibly about your physical sexual partners in life as well. There could be, which sometimes happens with the moon, and I was going to say it before but I didn't really bother, but sometimes this can indicate things like affairs going on as well. So some of you may be either involved in one or contemplating one or pondering, you know, that type of dynamic in your life as well. So when it said, you know, you might be wondering how to fulfill your desires or your sexuality, there will be right and wrong ways obviously for each of you to do that, and thinking about the best positive way to fulfill these desires, so that you learn from them and grow from them, and that you take relationships forward in a positive manner, is probably also a way to focus on it for you. But yeah, a very passionate reading, Scorpio. But again, it doesn't surprise me because you guys are a passionate sign. So thank you very much for joining me for the readings for the year, and for leaving your comments when you feel inclined. I know that often you don't. But remember to take this into 2019 and set your intentions so that you're planning for the things you want in your life. We're embarking on 2019 daily now. We're on the countdown down. So let go of these old hidden things you no longer want, and embark on the new passion and sensuality of your life. Have a wonderful December and a Merry Christmas, safe and happy, and much love, obviously, and sensuality. Namaste.